Hello, my name is Liam and welcome to Arcade Grenade. So this project started weirdly enough whilst I was watching my friend Tony on Twitch. So Tony is a stand-up comedian, which means he already spends a weird amount of time talking nonsense into a microphone. But most evenings he also streams Football Manager, which means he spends the rest of his time shouting at imaginary footballers for not tracking back. And while I was watching one of his streams, I noticed something. The stream was great, the chaos was there, the Football Manager pain was definitely there, but the background, it needed something. So naturally, instead of saying, you should get a sign, I thought I'd just make him one. In this video, I'm making Tony his very own light up sign, something that he can just stick in the background of his streams. And hopefully distract everyone from the fact that he's just lost 2-1 away to a team that he definitely should have beaten. So we're gonna print it, light it up, and see if we can make something worthy of the tactically most overly confident Twitch stream in existence. Let's get into it.
Awesome, so the first thing we're gonna have to do is make this a little bit bigger, because as you can see, the actual light box is fairly small and I want it to be a little bit bigger than that. So I reckon the best thing we can do is just slice this thing clean in half and then do it in 2 bits. Let's do the base plate first because that's going to be easier. So if we just chuck a slice in there, maybe turn it around just to make life a little bit easier for us. And we don't want it too close to the hole for the USB. Let's put it there. Right, now that's cut in 2. Let's just lay that down, actually make it easier to print. I think we should go for a scale of about 150%. Right. Let's split that across 2 plates. Yeah, I think about 150% is going to be about right. Now let's get on to this one. So I reckon if we cut just between the N and the T, yeah, I reckon that's probably going to be the best place to slice this. Just adjust that angle just the tiniest amount. I reckon just about there. Cool. Okay, I don't think that looks too bad actually. Yeah, cool. So we've got the 2 halves of that there. That nicely fits on the build plate. Let's slice it and see how it turns out.
So I guess the next thing we need to do is glue these parts together. Yep, I think that's going to slot together rather nice. We've ditched the craft mat because it's all bumpy and wavy and we need a nice flat surface for when we glue this together. Obviously, I don't want any glue showing through, so I reckon if we glue it this way, if there is going to be any glue, it's going to drip down onto the desk rather than face up. So we've got our trusty super glue and activator spray. Let's give this a go. Oh, this is going to be harder than I thought. I think that's about right. I think what I'll probably do as well is get a soldering iron and some black filament and go around the inside just to give it a bit more strength. This is just to kind of hold it until we do that. I think that should have gone off by now. It's usually pretty instant. Guess the best way to check is if I move this, does the whole thing move? Yes, it does. That's lined up pretty well. Yeah, there's a couple of gaps. This is why I'm gonna plastic weld it as well, because it'll stop the light shining through, because it'll look a bit weird. So we'll set that to one side. Let's do the front. Same again then. I suppose the majority of the strength's going to be from the side, isn't it? Right, moment of truth. Get that as lined up as we can. Wait for that to dry. When I was printing this, obviously I did it in 2 halves. My partner came in and said, "What's a ball egger?" Because I'd only done this bit, and I was like, no. Football Manager. Oh, that makes sense. Oh, that's definitely flexing at the sides and the top. Let's gently turn it over. The gaps at the sides are quite big. This gap isn't too bad. I might just glue. Yeah, because there's going to be a wrap. There's going to be a bit of glue. Oh God, there's barely anything holding this together. What do I do? Do I glue it? It's literally the tiniest bits that are holding this together. Yeah, do you know what? At the risk of the glue seeping through, I think I'm just going to plastic weld this. Let's get some PLA and an old soldering iron and we'll just do that, because if the glue runs through, it's going to absolutely make it look crap. Yeah, I'll get some PLA and a soldering iron and we'll do that. We better get this thing welded up then, hadn't we? Got my old soldering iron that I'm really not bothered about getting loads of melted plastic on. Now, I've never actually done this before, so it's going to be interesting how it turns out. So I thought we'd start off on the back piece, because then if I mess that up, it's not too bad. So I've gone ahead and cut a length of the black PLA for us to melt. Well, let's give this a go then. Okay, that's the test run. Has it burnt through? No. I don't know if you can see on camera, but it's very nicely sealed that gap too. Something that we are going to have to do is add some kind of ventilation in here, because just doing that alone almost gassed me. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my little extractor fan and put that above the camera, because good Lord, I can barely breathe. Right, let's continue then. Oh, that's better. It doesn't stink of burning plastic in here now. I'm sure there's probably better ways to do this, better techniques, but we'll try this way. Oh, and what we're not going to do is melt the edge of it with the side of the soldering iron. Whoops. This seems to be the method that works best for me, is melt a bit off and then smooth it over and hope to God that it doesn't look like an absolute train wreck on the other side. I'm sure I probably could have just used filler or something, but I just kind of wanted to give this a go. Seems to be doing the trick. Let's have a go up the sides. This is going to be hard to film and do without getting my head in shot like I did through about half of the Star Fox video. How is that looking from the other side? Oh, it's certainly made it a lot stronger. Yeah, so you can't see any light shining through it now, but I think that's looking good. Are we feeling confident enough to do the front? Yes. Less thinking, more doing. Yeah, it certainly sealed the gap. This is going to be fiddly. I apologise in advance. You're going to see a bit of my head here because my eyesight is terrible and I need to be this close to be able to see anything. Whoops, and let's not burn a hole through the cable of the soldering iron as well. That'd be a very silly thing to do, wouldn't it? If you can see the seam at the sides. Yeah, but it's looking a lot better. Right, now just the side left to go. What's really not helping me is the curve of the filament. Let's see if we can straighten it out a bit more. Don't do what I just did there and grab the soldering iron by the hot end as well. Wow, that was so stupid. I can't believe I just did that. What an idiot. Do you know what? For a first attempt, I don't think that went too bad at all. We only burnt the model twice, burnt my finger once, and probably inhaled an unhealthy amount of molten plastic. But apart from that, I don't think that's too bad. Well, I guess the next thing we need to sort out is actually getting some lights in here. Also, just thought I'd show you my extractor fan, which is literally an old PC fan wired in to a switch. Pull all the nasty fumes away. Anyway, right, lights. Let's talk lights. I went for a COB LED strip because I thought that just normal LEDs wouldn't be diffused enough. So we've got 1.5 meters to play with. And something that I've immediately noticed, which is going to be a bit of a pain, is that isn't going to fit through the hole on there. So we're probably going to have to cut the USB off, thread it through, and then resolder it. Let's see how these LEDs look. I like that a lot. Question is, where do we stick them? Do we stick them to the back so then it shines through? We could give that a try, couldn't we? Yeah, just before we go any further, let's actually thread this through because I know exactly what I'm like. I'll cut it and then resolder it on the wrong side. And we best get some heat shrink, hadn't we? think that might just be a bit too big. Descend my helping hands. Should we tin these leads up first? That might be a good idea, mightn't it? Excellent. Last but not least, a little bit of heat shrink on the outside. Beautiful. So I think if we give it a go of sticking them to the inside, just kind of like in a... Oh, we could put it around the edges actually, couldn't we? Yeah, because then it would light up the whole thing. So if we were to do that, we give us a bit of excess length there, put you there, and then, yeah, we could go around all the edges and do that. I think that's going to be a better way to do it. Stick it around the inside of this, and then we could glue gun it in place just to really hold it. Yeah, let's do that. I know what else we could do actually, just to reflect the light a little bit more. Yeah, we'll stick it around the edges, and then we'll put a reflective surface on the inside of here, so on the inside of the back, so then it bounces the light back. Yeah, cool. Let's do that. I'm just gonna go through the horribly fiddly process of sticking this to the inside of this. I see what I've done here. That's supposed to be up there. Fine. Never mind. Oh, what a f***ing idiot you are, Liam. Right, I found a power bank. Let's turn off the lights in here. Yeah, that looks cool. So I've got some of this reflective tape. It's going to be a pain in the backside, but we could stick that on everywhere. Brilliant. That's that done. Let's put the top back on. See how she looks. I think that's made a little bit of a difference. Probably doesn't look it on camera, but to me, it looks a hell of a lot brighter. Oh, brilliant. I'm really glad that we did that. And then we should probably put a dab on the underside of the flex, just so it doesn't get pulled out, shouldn't we? Just a tiny bit of percussive engineering required to make it fit. As my old boss Darren put it brilliantly on one of my first days at my old job, when it comes to technology, there's a fine line between too little violence and too much violence when you're putting something back together, and it's knowing that exact amount. That's what makes a good engineer. Right, last plug in, make sure everything works. You watch, I'll have broken it now. Excellent. I think he's gonna like that. I think he's really going to like that. I was going to put a bit of black paint on that, but you're never going to see it. And truth be told, I don't like him that much, so I can't really be bothered to go to that much effort. So, cool. Good job done. And there we go, one custom light up Football Manager sign, made for my mate Jony and ready to take its rightful place in the background of his Twitch streams. I like projects like this because they're not like, let's just make something that lights up because it's cool. I mean, like, it lights up, so it obviously is cool, but this one has a proper personal reason behind it. It came from watching a friend do something he loves and thinking, yeah, I can make something for that. So now Jony has a custom light up sign for his stream, his viewers have got something to look at, and I've once again used 3D printing as an excuse to overly complicate a gift. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like and drop a comment down below and let me know what custom sign you'd want for your setup. And as always, if you want more 3D printing, model making, retro video game repairs, and general nerdy chaos, just hit that subscribe button. I've been Liam, this has been Arcade Grenade, and I'll see you in the next one. So we're going to print it, light it up, and see if we can make something worthy.